Hello everyone, hope all are doing great. Today's our topic is Introduction to UML Part 2. Let us start. UML plays an important role in defining different perspectives of a system. These perspectives are design, implementation, process, deployment. Design of a system consists of classes, interfaces, and collaboration. Generally, design consists of what? Classes, interfaces, and collaboration. UML provides class diagram and object diagram to support this design. Class diagram and object diagrams are supported by design. The next, implementation. Implementation defines the components assembled together to make a complete physical system. In implementation, components are assembled together to make a complete system. What is the meaning of assembled? Combined. Okay. Combined together to make a complete physical system. Component diagram is used to support implementation. Here, component diagram is used to support implementation. In design, class diagram, object diagram are supported. In implementation, component diagram is supported. Process define the flow of a system. Hence, the same elements are used in design are also used in process. What are the elements used in design? The same elements are used in the process also. Okay. The next, deployment. Deployment represents the physical nodes of the system that forms the hardware. Okay, deployment generally represents the physical nodes of the system that forms hardware. Okay, UML deployment diagram is used to support the deployment. It is very important to distinguish between the UML model. Different diagrams are used for different types of UML modeling. There are three important types of UML modeling. Okay, different UML diagrams are used in different UML modeling. Okay, different types of UML modeling. What are the different types of UML modelings are there? There are structural modeling, behavioral modeling, architectural modeling. What is structural modeling? Structural modeling defines the static behavior of the system. Generally, structural modeling will define the static nature of the system. They consist of class diagram, object diagram, deployment diagram, package diagram, composite structure diagram, component diagram. Structural modeling generally consists of class diagram, object diagram, deployment diagram, package diagram, composite structure diagram, component diagram. Structural model represents the framework of the system. Generally, structural model will represent the framework of the system. It is a place where all the components exist. The class diagram, component diagram, and deployment diagram are the parts of the structural modeling. Okay, structural modeling includes class diagram, deployment diagram, component diagram, package diagram. Okay, they all represents the elements and the mechanism to assemble them. Okay, it includes the elements and mechanism to assemble them. Generally, the structural model never describes the behavioral dynamic behavior of the system. Structural model will always define the static behavior. Okay, it will not define the dynamic behavior. Okay, then class diagram is the mostly used structural diagram. Okay, class diagram is mostly widely used structural diagram. Behavioral modeling. Behavioral model describes the interaction in the system. Behavioral model describes the interaction in the system. What is interaction? Communication. It represents the interaction among the structural diagrams. It generally represents what? Interaction among the structural diagrams. Structural diagrams includes what? Class diagram, object diagram, deployment diagram, component diagram. Okay. Behavioral model shows the dynamic nature of the system. Behavioral model will show what? Dynamic nature of the system. It consists of activity diagram, interaction diagram, use case diagram. Behavioral modeling includes activity diagram, interaction diagram, use case diagram, whereas structural modeling includes class diagram, object diagram, component diagram. Okay, all the above shows the dynamic sequence of the flow in a system. All the above behavioral modeling will show the dynamic sequence of the system. Architectural modeling. Architectural model defines overall framework of the system. Generally, architectural model will define what? Overall framework of the system. It contains both structural and behavioral elements of the system. Architectural model can be defined as a blueprint of the entire system. Generally, architectural model is defined as what? Blueprint of the entire system. Okay. Package diagram comes under architectural modeling. Only single diagram comes under architectural modeling, that is package diagram. Structural things. What are structural things? Graphical notation used in structural things are mostly widely used in UML. Okay, these are the following structural things. What are the following structural things? Classes, object, interface, collaboration, use case, active classes, components, and nodes. These are all the following structural things. Classes, object, interface, collaboration, use case, active class, components, and nodes. Class notation. The UML diagram is generally represented by the following. The diagram is divided into 4 parts. The top section is used to name the class. The second section is used to show the attributes. The third section is used to describe the operations performed by the class. The fourth section is optional to show any additional component. So here, student is the class name. These are the attributes. These are the operations. These are the additional responsibilities. Here, visibility. Visibilities are of 3 types: public, protected, private. For public, it is a plus symbol. For protected, it is hash. For private, it is minus. In other languages, visibilities is also known as access specifiers. In other programming language, here in UML, called access specifiers as visibilities. So for public, it is plus. For protected, it is hash. For private, it is minus. Here name, then data type. Name is a variable of data type string. Role is of integer. Section is of string. These are the attributes. Then operations: display, add, edit, delete. For display, the visibility is plus. Plus means what? Public. For add, the visibility is minus. Minus means what? Private. For edit, the visibility is minus. Minus means what? Private. For delete, the visibility is hash. Hash means protected. Okay. If any additional responsibilities is there, we can add into this extra component, manage student in a class. This is not mandatory. If it is required, you can add, or else you can skip this. Classes are used to represent objects. Objects can be anything having properties and functionalities. Generally, classes are used to represent objects. Objects can be anything having properties and functionalities. Object notation. The object is represented in the same way as the class. Okay, class and objects are both same. The only difference is what? The name which is underlined as shown in the figure. Name of the object is underlined here. See here, the name of the object is what? Student, which is underlined. In this way, we can distinguish between class and object. For class, no underline. For object, it is underlined below the object name. Object name is underlined. An object is the actual implementation of the class. Generally, object is the actual implementation of a class, which is also known as instance of a class. Hence, it has the same usage as of class. Interface. Interface represented by a circle as shown in the following figure. Okay, interface is generally represented by a circle as shown in the figure. The name of the interface is generally written below. Here, the name of the interface is student application. Interface is used to describe the functionalities without implementation. Generally, interface will describe the functionalities but without implementation. Implementation is carried out by Class. Interface is just like a template where you define different functions. Interface is like the template where we can define different functions, but not the implementation. When a class implements the interface, it also implements the functionalities as per requirement. Okay, generally class will implement the interface. It also implements the functionalities as per the requirement. Collaboration notation. Collaboration is represented by a dotted ellipse as shown in the following figure. Okay, dotted ellipse. Collaboration represents responsibilities. Generally, responsibilities are in a group. Group of responsibilities is the collaboration name. If you want any additional information below the collaboration name, you can add. Use case notation. Use case notation is represented as a ellipse with a name inside it. It may contain additional information. Use case is used to capture the high level functionalities of a system. This is the symbol of use case. Okay. Here the use case name is register student. If any additional information is required, you can write below the use case name. Generally, use case is used in use case diagrams. Actor. An actor can be defined as some internal or external entity that interacts with the system. Actor is an internal or external entity which will interact with the system. An actor is used in use case diagram. Generally, actor is used in which diagram? Use case diagram, to describe the internal or external entities. Initial state. Initial state is defined to show the start of the process. Generally, initial state is used to show the start of the process. This notation is used in almost all the diagrams. The usage of initial state is to show the starting point of the process. So this is a symbol of initial state, small solid circle. Final state. Final state is used to show the end of the process. This notation is also used in almost all the diagrams to define the end of the process. The usage of final state notation is to show the termination point of the process. Okay, to show the termination point of the process. See, this is a solid circle again surrounded by a circle. This is the final state. Then active class. Active class looks similar to the class. Okay, active class looks similar to a class with a solid border. What is the main difference? Here active class borders are solid. Active class is generally used to describe the concurrent behavior of the system. Generally, active class is used to describe the concurrent behavior of the system. Active class is used to represent the concurrency. Okay, generally active class is used to represent the concurrency of the system. It consists of name, attributes, and operation. The same like class, but here the borders are solid. Component. A component UML is shown in the following figure with the name inside. Here the component name is what? This is the component figure. Here the component name is institution. If any additional information is required, you can write below the component name. Component is used to represent any part of the system for which UML diagrams are made. Node notation. A node in UML is represented by a square box as shown in the following figure with the same name. A node represents the physical components of the system. Okay, generally node represents what? Physical component of the system. Node can be anything such as server, network, etc. Here the name of the node is server. Behavioral things. Dynamic parts are the most important elements in UML. UML has a set of powerful features to represent the dynamic part of software and non-software system. This feature include interaction and state machine. What is interaction? Interaction can be of two types: sequential, collaborative. Sequential represents sequence diagram. Collaborative represents what? Collaboration diagram. Interaction notation. Interaction is basically a message exchange between two components. Interaction means communication. It is a message exchange between two UML components. Interaction is used to represent the communication among the components of the system. Generally, interaction is used to represent communication among the components of the system. State machine. State machine describes the different states of a components in its life cycle. The notation are described in the following. State machine is used to describe different states of a system. The state can be active, ideal, or any other depending upon the situation. See, this is the initial point of the process. Here, insert card. Starting it is ideal. Initial state of the object is ideal. The next, insert pin number. This is what intermediate state. If you insert wrong pin number, then it goes to abnormal exit and final state. Then the result is what? Failure. Then if you enter the correct pin number, the next is what? Select from menu. Okay, after selecting from menu, then confirmation. Then confirmation, after that complete transaction. Then it reaches the final state. This is the money withdrawal from ATM state machine diagram. Grouping things. Organizing the UML model in one of the most important aspects of the design. In UML, there is only one element available for grouping, and that is package. Package notation. Package notation is shown in the following figure, used to wrap the components of the system. This is the, what is the name of the package here? Components. This is the symbol for package. If any additional information is required, you can add below the name of the package. Annotational things. In any diagram, explanation of different elements and the functionalities are very important. Hence, UML has notes notation and support these requirements. Okay, generally in any other programming language, we use comments. Here in UML, we use what? Note to write the comments. Note is added here for additional information. See, this is the symbol of the note. Relationship. A model is not complete unless the relationship between the elements are described. Okay, relationship is very important. Okay, to define which are used in the model. The relationship gives the proper meaning of UML diagram. Following are the different types of relationships available: dependency, association, generalization, extensibility. What is dependency? Dependency is important aspects of UML elements. It describes the dependent elements and the direction of dependency. Dependency is represented by a dotted arrow as shown in the figure. The arrow head represents the independent element and the other end represents the dependent element. Okay, arrow head will represent what? Independent element. The other head represents dependent element. Dependency is used to represent the dependency between the two elements of a system. See here, this is the arrow head which will represent independent, then the other end represent dependent. Here the name of the element. This is the dependency notation symbol. Association. Association describes how the elements in the UML diagrams are associated. Associated means how they are connected. It describes how many elements are taking part in interaction. Association is represented by a dotted line with arrows on both sides, with or without arrows. The two ends represents two associated elements as shown in the following figure. The multiplicity is shown as mentioned as 1 to many. 1 to star means 1 to many, to show how many objects are associated. Association is used to represent the relationship between two elements of a system. See here, this is the association. Organization, employee. Okay, in one organization many employees may present, so it is a 1 to many relationship. Multiplicity is 1 to many. Here the name of the organization. This dashed line is navigation. Generalization. Generalization describes the inheritance relationship of the object. Generally, generalization is used to describe the inheritance relationship of the object-oriented. Okay, it is a parent and child relationship. Generalization is represented by an arrow with a hollow arrow head as shown in the following figure. One end represents the parent element, the other end represents the child element. Generalization is used to describe the parent-child relationship of two elements of the system. See here, this is the parent element, this is the child element. This is the symbol of the generalization. It is used to describe the parent-child relationship. Extensibility. All the languages have some mechanism to extend the capability, such as syntax, semantics, etc. UML also has the following mechanism to provide extensibility. Stereotypes. What is the meaning of stereotypes? Stereotype represents new element. Tagged values represent new attributes. Constraints represent boundaries. Extensibility notations are used to enhance the power of the language. It is basically additional element used to represent some extra behavior of the system. The extra behavior are not covered by the standard available notations. Stereotypes means what? Represents new elements. Tagged values represents new attributes. Constraint represents boundaries. See here, stereotypes represents what? New elements. Here tagged value is what? 1.2. New attributes. Constant means boundaries. Hope you understood the concept, friends. Thanks for watching the video. Please do like, share and subscribe. Have a great day.